I was going to clap as well. Okay.
James Guy,
Yes,
coming back to where it all began.
I am here.
What does it feel like to be back in Trafford?
It feels really weird and also quite special, I would say. I think in terms of Trafford itself, I learnt to swim here and my journey started here. So the James Guy in the pool would never be where I am today without Trafford. Obviously, having lessons here almost 25 years ago and seeing where it has turned out to be today is, it's very, very special to be here.
So, what was your earliest memory? 25 years ago?
Yeah.
Can you remember what that was?
I would say a very clear memory. I was in year 3 at school, so I was 7, and I remember swimming in the pool next to me, and I was doing 1-length butterfly, and the seats at the back were all there, and I did the length butterfly, and my teacher was clapping at me, saying it was amazing. And another memory would be, learning to swim in here on a Saturday morning with Moira, and just you have these clear memories of things that have just stuck with you for a long time, and playing badminton in the court, after school. So it brings back some really good memories.
Do you remember what sparked that initial interest in the water?
I think the most important thing was water safety, and I think learn to be able to swim, and that's where the love for the sport grew. But I remember swimming with Moira, and I was very competitive, so whatever I used to do, if it was warming up, if it was swimming easy and drilling, I used to race everyone. And I can't help it, and I think that's where the competitive side came from. And I remember Dad saying to me, he said, when you're swimming, you don't have to race all the time. I said, I can't help it. Just wanted to win all the time. And I think that's where it was naturally part of me, and we're still going today, being competitive.
Yeah. I suppose just take a second, it's been quite a busy year for you, is it fair to say? Particularly the last 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, it's the last 3 to 6 months have been crazy. So obviously I left the Northwest a long time ago, was in the Somerset for a long time. I've come back up here in November 2024, and being around Cheshire and Trafford again brings back a lot of good memories. Training obviously Manchester Aquatics now. I'm getting married in next Saturday, so that's come around really quickly. I've just been at the World Championships in Singapore, come back with another gold. We've defended our Olympic title, so it's been a very whirlwind of a year, I would say, but also quite exciting with what's coming up in the next few months.
You've achieved incredible success on the world stage. Thinking back to the younger you've just talked about that young swimmer at Trafford Metro.
Yeah.
What did swimming mean to you as a child beyond just the competitive side? How did it shape who you are now, who's sat in front of me?
I would say all them years ago, it kind of shaped the way I structured my life a little bit. I've been committed to something for so long, and I've given it my entire life of all the pain, all the the hard work, the good memories, the bad memories, the early mornings, getting up at silly o'clock at 4:10, getting in the pool, swimming before school. But I would say it's taught me how to really commit to something and give it everything. And I really have given my life to swimming. But it does show that if you put the hard work in and you believe in yourself and you have the right coaches, and it can really shape you in the right way. And I feel like now whenever I try and do something outside the pool, I'll always give it 100%, and I think that's come from swimming. And what we do, I would say, in the pool isn't normal. We put our bodies through hell. You're swimming 50,000 metres a week. Just 50,000 on a normal week. It's not normal, but it just shows that if you can put your mind to something and work hard, the results will always come. And I think that's something to take away from my swimming career. That if you do work hard, it'll always come to you.
In those early days.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd be an Olympian?
I thought years ago I could be an Olympian. I thought when I was probably 11, being with Swim Trafford and running nationals, I thought I can do this. I can go all the way. But to actually go on and do it, my dad always believed that I could do it. And then I was world champion at 19. I was the fastest in the world, and I never thought that would happen. But it was from then on that I could make a career out of swimming. I've done 3 Olympics. But in my head today, I'm still that 9-year-old James Guy that loves to race, loves swimming, and yeah, I love what I do.
So at 19,
yeah,
you realised
yeah.
the fastest swimmer on the planet.
Yeah, basically it was...
It's not what every 19-year-old...
No, it's not. Looking at 19-year-olds now and what my brother did and just, the world in general where we've gone. I remember coming back from the World Championships with 2 golds and going from that young lad from Trafford Metro and believing in myself all the early mornings, and then to being the fastest man in the world for my age and across the men, it was just something that was like, this is the stuff you dream about. And then to do it and have the actual gold medal saying you are the best in the world is something that you can't really buy. And I remember seeing when that happened, I remember turning around and seeing James Guy #1 and all the superstars. Ryan Lochte, one of the greatest Olympians of all time, I beat him. Chadwick Lowe, who beat Michael Phelps in 2012. So all them great memories, it just shows that it really can happen. It really can.
Yeah. With your experience now as an Olympic champion, why do you think it's so crucial for every child to learn to swim? What life lessons does swimming teach you? Why is it so important?
I think the most important thing is water safety. Obviously, you see drownings happen every single year. There's, it's not publicised that often, but there's thousands of kids drown every year. And that's the reason why I got into swimming. It was just to be able to be water safe. So you go on holiday, you can be left in the pool, you can play in the pool, and your parents or guardians are comfortable with you doing that. But also, for me, it was, it gave me structure. It was something that I used to look forward to. Obviously the health benefits as well. It's a full body exercise. And I feel like when you're in water, you can make it fun. Where I struggle with being on the treadmill. I don't like it. I'd much rather go for a swim. But don't get me wrong, sometimes when you are swimming on your own, it's quite challenging. You have to do a certain session on your own. But seeing these kids later, that's what I did all them years ago. Seeing, someone like Steve Parry came in or Rebecca Adlington, I've been there and seen it, and hopefully I can give the kids some inspiration of if you do what you do and believe in yourself, you can get to wherever you want to go.
So, what advice would you give then to those young swimmers here tonight? So before they turn up and I'll hear it firsthand.
Yeah.
What's that advice going to be? What's that dreaming or following in your footsteps?
I would say, if that was me all them years ago, the first piece of advice would be enjoy what you're doing. Swimming's a very niche sport. It's hard work. You have to love it, and that's the most important thing. If you love it, then that's amazing. You've got the first tick, and then everything else will follow after that. But I will also say as well, you listen to your coaches. Your coaches sometimes can be quite mean and nasty, and they give you hard work, but they want to help you. And there's an old saying where happiness is swimming fast, and if you have a personal best time, that feeling of doing that, even to this day, I didn't PB for 9 years. I did it at the Olympic Games in the final, and a Games happens every 4 years. So to do it under the most pressurized moment and to actually do that, it was the best feeling in the world. But yeah, I would say to the kids is just enjoy swimming, work hard, and work your turns, because my turns still aren't very good to this day, and I'm almost 30.
So obviously we were chatting a few weeks ago, and I said, right, we're at the stage now, come on down. I promise you, James, it's changed.
Yeah.
25 years ago when you were there. What's your first impression?
I was pretty speechless, to be honest with you. I think walking through the door and having this vivid memory of what Altrincham does to look like now, move Altrincham, it's a different ball game, and there's probably nothing quite like it in the area or around the city. So to see where it was and to where it is now, it's like the Champions League to League 3. Yeah. But that's the reality, and to see what's happened and what we've got on our doorstep now is something really exciting. And now I can, be excited to come to the pool and be in the area of, this is where my local leisure centre is, and there's so many options of things to do here, and it just broadens everyone's mind of if you want to go to the health spa, or you want to do, you want to come for a swim, or the cycling. There's so many options. Where years ago that you're quite limited, where now you can basically do whatever you want, and that's the beauty.
Yeah. Just thinking back to maybe when your mum and dad, how does that feel different for them, now coming compared
I think for them especially, obviously they've not been for a long time, and when they used to watch me swim, at the back here or the other pool, and as you walk in, the reception on your right hand side, and that's all completely gone. I think they're probably pretty blown away as well from all the memories we had as a family coming here to. I remember being in the pool with my dad and playing with him in the deep end, and I was always scared of this side of the pool because it was quite deep. And that's another clear memory of us being as a family, coming swimming on a Saturday morning or a Sunday, and it's the memories that will last a lifetime. He used to pretend to be a shark, bless him. He used to try and swim away, but it's nice to bring that back again and see their faces as they walked in. So yeah, very special.
I suppose 2 last questions from me.
Yeah.
The first one, we've sort of talked a bit about now and in the past. What's James Guy up to when it comes to getting in the water and competing over the next year, 2 years? What's your goals?
Oh, I think the next couple of years are really exciting. Obviously, I had the World Championships a month and a half ago. I'm really happy around as an athlete. For my age now, I'm 29, still hitting personal best times, still challenging for world medals. Obviously, next year's Commonwealth Games, it's the European Championships, and obviously it's the Worlds and Olympics. So, the end goal will be the LA Olympics in 2028. I've currently got six medals at the minute, 3 gold, 3 silver. So I'll try and add to that collection. Will be very nice. And then, post that, it'll be interesting. But I'm really happy with what I'm doing right now. Being back in the Northwest, being back in Altrincham, it makes things much easier. I have everyone around me. My family's all here. But yeah, it's exciting for the future, and I'm happy to be back home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite unique for Altrincham and Trafford. One, it'd be great to see you in the pool anyway, back full circle.
Yeah.
But maybe end up doing a few things together in the future. Do you think that might be to the benefit of Altrincham and the Trafford community?
Yeah, I think for me the most important thing is getting back, and obviously I started my career here and journey here, and showing what can be done and being part of of Trafford and Move Altrincham is something that I'm really excited to be about, and yeah, let's see what happens.
Cheers, James.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Joe.